Good evening, folks, and welcome. It is oNiD's Sunday main event race tonight. A different voice in the comms box tonight. Normally, I would be doing the rookies on a Thursday, but you've got myself, Jimbo Mancy, and I'm joined by our main comms, I would say, Cammy Sturch. How's it going?
Better after my last event. How are you?
Very good, very good. However, I have realised that I had my speakers on or my input on mute. So we'll go again. Hello, everyone. Welcome to oNiD. It's Sunday night. This is the main event, Split 2. I'm with Cammy Sturch, who you've just heard, who's introduced herself through no need of asking, it would have sounded like. So apologies there. But yeah, here we are. It's Laguna Seca tonight, 90-minute race, and it's in the dark. So what do you think, Cammy? Going to be a good one?
Yeah, it's unseasonably cold at the moment. It's 9 degrees Celsius. I'm not sure what that is in American speak. And the track is green. So if it stays that way through qualifying and into the race, things are going to be very, very interesting.
It's it's definitely Fahrenheit, but I couldn't tell you what the conversion is. So if anyone wants to keep us updated with that, please feel free.
48.
48 degrees. Oh, that's a massive difference, isn't it?
Sounds like a lot when you hear it like that.
Yeah, it's insane. So what do we think tonight? It's back to the GT3s. The guys have just had their, obviously, the sprint series with the M2s and GT4s. You were just running some comms on that, weren't you? How did that go in Laguna in the dark?
There was a couple incidents. It really affected Dave Zalecki. But otherwise, Shahabi got away with like a minute gap to second place in the M2 class, and Sharon pulled out a 30-second gap to second place in GT4 class. So just a couple of masterclasses on how to win a race there.
A minute gap?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, there was a huge pile-up, and I think Shahabi got away, and a lot of the other M2s got caught up in it. Three of the M2s, I think, had to pit, along with a Janetta or two, had to pit on the first lap with damage. A couple of people, I think one person just, hit the escape button and just towed straight back to the garage.
Fair enough. I think I've done about 2 minutes in the BMWs.
I've not tried them.
Well, you probably can hear the background noise as ever. Qualifying has just begun, so we're going to flick the stream on for that. And as ever, it is the Lambo's STs going out for the first 15 minutes, and then it will be the GT3s. What do you think about a Lambo ST around Laguna? GT3s are hard enough.
Yeah, I've had a quick go of the Super Trofeo. You have to really slow it down in the corners a lot more than you think you would. It doesn't have a whole lot of grip.
Just as we see Chittle come out of the pits there, a really, really difficult pit exit that you can get seriously wrong if you are not paying attention. And with a 90-minute race, we're going to see 1 or 2 stops tonight. We may see someone get it wrong.
Yeah, I think as drivers will be under pressure to get out quickly, and you only need to overstep the mark a tiny little bit, and you're into the gravel, and then you're losing seconds.
So just as the cars head out for the first part of qualifying, let's just run over the championship standings for the STs. So the man on screen, Chittle, is leading the championship. He is on 199 points. However, he has a certain Mr. Willie Black on the same amount of points just behind him. So I say he's leading the championship. That must be on results in the races. But yes, they're tied on 199 points each at the moment. Followed by Oscar Anderson on 167. Baz de Vroid on 138. You've then got Martin Johansson on 129. And as it is a top 5 with some people tied on points, you've got Martin Reinars on 112. And I apologise for every single murder that I have committed to a surname.
Yeah, I was wondering if it was Chittle or Chittle, but...
Chittle. I'm only going on what I've heard Adam say when he's been in the comms before, so Yeah, that's if it's anyone's fault, it's Adam's fault.
Absolutely.
And there is our first absolutely of the evening.
Yeah, it might be on the bingo card. I'm not sure.
I think it is. It's one of the specials, along with singing, which is not going to happen from me tonight. So you're going to have to help out with that one.
Singing.
Yes, yeah, but we have to be careful because of copyright. Because if you are that accurate, they can pull the sound at that point as well.
No, I know. I was just going to sing what I see.
Oh, wow, okay.
Chitle's heading up to the corkscrew. There you go.
I'm impressed that you managed to get corkscrew into the lyrics there.
I'm not a lyrical genius where I can make things rhyme on the fly, but...
Oh, okay. No, I don't think people expect too much of any of us at oNiD. Just a good stream with some good racing. That's all we can manage these days.
Yeah. So, Chitle's coming round on his out lap, final corner, and needs to get a good exit and start his first hot lap of this qualifying session. They've got 15 minutes, about 10 minutes left. Here we go, his first lap.
Yeah, down into turn 2 technically, if you count the one just over the brow. A real difficult braking zone, gets that stop nicely, and then the second part comes up. You need to hold the apex of that and watch the sound on the exit. Into this one here is another tricky corner. Sausage curb on the inside that can really upset the car, and I have found through doing various practices that if you touch the sand on the outside, you're pretty much assured a spin.
Yeah, there was a few of those in GT4 where just people got slight tank slappers, so it might be an idea for drivers watching that turn. As Triton slightly misses the apex at turn 5 there, heading up the hill to turn 6. Yeah, if they want to turn up their ABS or traction control just a little bit. Again, he's a bit wide of the apex. Heading up the Rahal straight now towards turn 7 and 8, which is everybody's favourite corner, the corkscrew. See how he's on the mark here, so yeah, he's got that nailed down nicely. He'll want to probably go for another run, because it's very rare that your fastest lap is your first lap out, as the track is still green, hasn't changed yet. Track's a little bit warmer, but only by 1 degree.
Still green, and
the track, not the car.
10 degrees as well. That is a recipe for disaster. So he crosses the line and goes into P3. Let's take a look at Rhinos, one of our top 5 in the championship. We've got someone off on the exit of the corkscrew.
Yep, they're just keeping
sparks fly from the cars bottoming out.
Yeah, they're just keeping out the way so as not to ruin anybody's flying lap, which is very good to see. As Reinhard comes through up to turn 11.
Typical California stuff. There is no grass here. There is just sand. And I think the further out you go, the deeper it gets.
I hate sand.
And let's take a look at... Well, let's go back to Chittle, as he is just under 4 temps up on this lap. So the tyres will be coming up to temperature slowly, but surely in these very cool conditions. It's around the final few corners. Nice line through there. That looked really tidy. Just over 4 temps up. What can he make in the last corner? So there's a little bit of time on the exit, but he is going to improve, and this is going to put him back up to P3. There he goes. Let's quickly jump on board with Willie Black. Joint first in the championship. Unfortunately, we can't see Willie's fantastic livery too well in the dark. But he comes down to the corkscrew, and he is 1.4 seconds up at the moment. So this is a provisional pole position lap.
As long as nobody else is also improving out on track at the moment, yeah, this will put him on provisional pole.
Looking very tidy through there. He's lost the 10th. He's just being a little bit cautious to get the lap done. He'll be able to see from his delta he's in a good position here. Nails the final corner though and makes a couple of attempts back up there. And this is going to place him first. There he goes. 3 temps up on Devoid.
So the gauntlet's handed back to Devoid. It's up to him to respond now. Rhodes is back in the pit lane.
Yeah, so Devoid just behind Willie Black on track, actually. So it's not close enough to use him as a marker. And Willie Black is 4 temps down on this lap, so maybe he's just having a bit of a cool down lap. And before he attacks again.
It's a decently sized track where the drivers, there's only 12 Lambo drivers. They won't generally be tripping up on each other.
Yeah, you'd like to think we won't have any F1 qualifying episodes where everyone is just sat at the final corner waiting to start a lap.
Yeah.
So Devoid coming up to the corkscrew. He is now 4 temps up, so he is now looking at a provisional pole lap. The track will be getting faster and faster as every lap passes. Oh, but he's gone wide and off into the corkscrew, and that lap is over. 6.5 minutes to go.
He'll get another couple of attempts, but he will be frustrated that such a simple mistake, just brakes too late going into the corkscrew, pushing too hard. Probably some of them expecting the track to have developed a little bit, but it's still green out there.
Yeah, I was expecting the track to at least hit fast at this point, but who knows, maybe by the time the GT3s go out we will see a bit more of a grippy track. We'll stick with Devoid for now.
Round the Andretti hairpin.
He has potential to take this pole position away from Willie Black. And already on this lap, Devoid is a 10th up. He's lost a little bit coming through there. I know most people will say the corkscrew is probably the hardest couple of corners on this track, but my personal feeling is this left that Devoid is now coming up to is one of the hardest there is. It's kind of a blind entry, as you can see. Sausage curb on the inside and just a wall pretty much on the outside.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's a deceptively tricky corner.
One of them ones you feel you can carry a lot of speed through, but when you get there you realise very quickly you should have braked maybe a little bit earlier.
Yeah, and if I'm correct, I'm thinking there's a sausage curb on the inside.
There is, which upsets the car considerably.
Yes.
So just coming into the final corner, Devoid is just under 7 tenths of a second up, so this is looking like a pole position lap for him. Takes the final corner nicely, gets on the power. He's now a second up. Wow, he's absolutely nailed that final corner. Comes across the line to set a 26.6. And
Yeah,
in the end finishes 7 tenths up, but that is an incredible lap.
Yeah, I said he had to respond, and he's very much met the challenge and raised the stakes to Willie Black, who is in the pit lane at the moment, so he may be making some last minute alterations to the car. Hopefully we'll see him back out on track. He's just heading out now, actually, as we're following Oscar Anderson, using all the curb he can. I think that's
so
still within limits.
Oscar is nearly 8 tenths up on his time at the moment, now 9 tenths, but he's invalidated just as he goes over the curb there, so that is that lap destroyed, and that was a potential P3 there. Talking of P3, Chittle has just started another lap, and within the first couple of corners is 3 tenths up, so he has potential as well.
I keep checking the track condition to see if it's changed, and it's still a green circuit. Because these drivers, you want to stay out until the last minute, because the track could...
if the track clicks to fast.
Get faster, yeah, it could get faster, and you want to be in there.
Yeah, that's a huge advantage. Very similar to sort of the end of a wet to dry qualifying. You want to be the last car that crosses the line to start with a second to spare.
Just to give yourself that best chance. It's not guaranteed, but it does give, gives you every advantage. Neatly through the corkscrew. Nice shot downhill there. Every now and then I keep seeing like little yellow and green orbs. Those little circles pop up in the graphics.
I think it's the settings that I'm running with the graphics, and I noticed since the 1.8 update, it's I've had these and I can't seem to get rid of them. So enjoy. It's like an aeroplane with just like a light that flashes to let you know.
Maybe they're fireflies.
It's around. Maybe. Same colour as the car actually. So Chittle crosses the line there. Doesn't move back into P2. We've got De Vroid on a lap, who is on par with his fastest lap at the moment. 2.5 minutes to go, so these guys are going to be coming into their last couple of laps now. Ooh, and De Vroid loses it through the corkscrew.
Brakes a bit late, the car's gone light over the crest of the hill, and he's still been turning left.
Yeah, he won't be the first and won't be the last to have that incident, I believe, tonight.
No, absolutely not.
Even more difficult in the dark to see your turning point.
Chittle. A few minutes.
So we've got Chittle on a lap. He is 2 tenths up. We've got Hansen on a lap, but that's going away, so he's made a mistake somewhere. We'll stick with Chittle as he is the one improving nearer the top at the moment. He's just lost a bit of time coming out of the corkscrew though.
So Reinar's roads, and Reinar's won't be setting another lap there in the pit lane still, so they're satisfied that they're just going to start where they are. They won't be improving. Chittle comes across the line, doesn't improve.
But we do have someone improving, and that is De Vroid, so he's going to look to extend the gap even further. Willie Black is on a lap as well, but he's down at the moment.
Up the hill for the last time in qualifying. Through turn 6, onto the Ray Hall straight.
He may get another lap in.
Yeah.
Oh, he's lost it again. So no, he will not be getting another lap in. So that is De Vroid's qualifying over, and that will have been damage on that one as well after hitting the wall.
But he was in a comfortable position of provisional pole position, so he knew he could push as hard as he wanted.
He is, as Chittle comes through the corkscrew, 3 tenths up, so he could be looking to take second place off Willie Black at the moment.
Now, what do you want? Do you want to be on the front row, or do you want to be on the inside line behind the leader in third? Because sometimes third is better than second.
He's absolutely nailed that final corner. Sorry, just as we watch Chittle cross the line, he is going to displace Willie Black as the GT3s, you can see, rolling out of the pits. Chittle crosses the line with a 27.1, and he takes second position.
Yeah, he'd be very pleased with that. As we watch the GT3s coming out the pit lane now, and turn in a lovely Castrol NSX.
With oNiD, Sim Stuff, Racing Stronger. Man, it's just a rolling advertisement board. So, so I haven't seen the practice times and haven't had the fortune of seeing the practice times. I feel Andy Hearn is going to be the one to watch in qualifying. He seems to have the NSX hooked up quite nicely around here, and clearly it's a good car around here.
Yeah, I don't think this car is going to suit the Lexus. I'm unsure if it will suit the McLaren. The Aston Martin, I'm not sure about. Brian Davies and Heike van der Veen are still in the pit lane, so unless they're still working on their setups, or they're waiting for a gap.
Well, the track has gone to fast with 13.5 minutes to go, so we have a fast track.
It's taken a while to get there, hasn't it?
I think that's purely based on temperature and the fact that we only had 11 cars doing the ST qualifying. But let's watch Mr. Hearn, part of Skid Solo Racing. Make of that what you will.
Yeah, you do get some interesting team names in sim racing.
There's been some brilliant ones, even just in the oNiD series. I think it was, I can't remember the name of the person, but he just had Team Race Car, which was Johnny Ashley's favourite.
I've seen obesity racing.
I think it may have been Guerrera or Samoa's. One of them two. I'm sure someone will correct me or point me in the right direction, but... So as Andy Hearn comes around on his first flying lap. So, Cammy, when you approach qualifying, first flying lap, do you look for a banker?
Yeah, you need to. You need to just a simple cruising banker lap because your tyres aren't quite up to temperature anyway, so there's no point pushing, ridiculously hard. And if you crash, you're going to lose all that time of having to come out the pits and do another out lap. So it's always better just to err on the side of caution until you've got the first lap on the board, or the first semi-competitive lap on the board, should I say.
Fantastic development this is!
Andrew Hearn rounding the last corner now, and we'll see what his banker lap is. Should immediately go faster than the Super Trofeos, and he does with 25.2.
But this man has... there's a 23. There's 23 in there for sure.
Is that only if the track gets to optimum, though? Do you think you can do that on a fast track?
I think you can do a 23 on a fast track. So I've set him a target now. Maybe he's listening. Who knows? We have got Mr. Watts dipping into the 24s just, and looking at my timing board now, everyone is lighting up green, so everyone is going faster.
Not surprising there. Everyone's just done an out lap and a banker lap, so their tyres are now up to temperature, up to their target pressures, which will be sort of between 27 and 28 psi, generally speaking, for GT3 cars. Adam D. Following now in the Racing Stronger livery.
He's coming up on an Aston Martin.
Yeah, that'll be right. It could be KD as well.
Adam takes loads of curb on the inside of the corkscrew and seems to get away with it.
But
he's going to be getting held up now, though. Oh, no.
Yeah.
The Aston is... No, he is still there, is he? He has eased off. The Aston kind of just disappeared in shot, out of shot, and back in shot then. So let's watch Adam D across the line as up ahead. Andy Hearn has taken provisional pole position, and Watts takes it straight back from him. And Adam D goes P5.
Not bad for the Lexus round here. From what he tells me, it's a fast car, but it doesn't do corners so well. Tracks like Misano, he wasn't enjoying it. He hated it, and he was saying, turn! So methinks it understeers a little bit.
Yeah, he was having a great time in it at Hungary, though, in the Rookies Championship on...
Until
Thursday night, the Thursday before. Yeah, well, I wasn't going to... Because if he's listening, you'll just set off all kinds of emotions again. So we're just watching Dirk Bofer across the corkscrew here. He is currently in P5, having taken that place off of Adam D. He comes around the final few corners just under 0.6 of a second up.
So Watts is put in a 24.4, so we're getting closer to the 23s all the time.
Yeah, Bofer comes through the final corner. He's looking to pull a second here, so he's going to go up to P2. And there he goes.
Guess I was wrong about the McLarens. It looks like they're going very well.
Watts across the line, and there we go into the 23.7s. I told you.
Donking lap.
That is a very good lap. And that NSX seems to be working very well around here. If we look at Watts and Hearn, both in the Hondas, currently both in the top 3. Let's take a look at Andy Hearn. I won't do what I did when I streamed the Rookies a couple of weeks ago and guess someone's first name.
Who you talking about there?
It was
No. Oh, I thought you were trying to guess someone's initial in this race.
Oh, no. I did it in the Rookies on the first stream and decided to just say, because he had a international surname, let's say, I gave him Ricardo as a first name, and it wasn't even close.
I think Medina. I think that's Danny Medina.
I believe that is, yeah.
Bo Lamberts, Johnny Ashley, Adam D, Sam Roughton. Howard, I'm not sure about. And I'm just going to say Adam. And then we've got Hearn, Andrew Hearn. T. Anderson. I'm going to call him. I was going to call him Thomas Anderson, as in Neo in the Matrix.
So Andrew Hearn has gone back into P2. He's now cut that gap down to just under 5 tenths, half a second, as we watch Johnny Ashley get it all scribbly out of the final corner and decide to park it. He probably will return to pits.
Unless he's
there he goes.
Yep.
Let's jump on board with Anderson in the McLaren. He is currently half a second up.
His name's Tojan, not Thomas.
Oh!
Ooh.
And that is far too much sausage.
Sausage Curb City.
Yeah, look how the car just slides in the sand as well. You're literally a passenger at that point.
I hate sand. It's rough, coarse, irritating, and it gets everywhere.
And once it's in, there's no getting it out. So Andy Hearn down to the corkscrew. Looks very quick, too quick. That is another spin at the corkscrew.
Yep, careful. There is traffic coming. He's on the track.
That was close. So Alexis manages to get through. Let's take a look at Adam D, because he is 3 tenths of a second up. Coming into the corkscrew. So 4 tenths of a second, 5 tenths of a second. Literally, it's going up by a tenth as quickly as I can say it. And Adam decides that he will jump over the sausage curb on the inside there. And another one. And that car is going to have 0 suspension left by the end of the race.
It looks like he's gotten away with it, although whether he's lost time or not, I'm not sure.
He has. He's just outbraked himself a bit into the final corner and lost all of his time. But they still have just under 6 minutes of qualifying left. Who have we got going faster? I ask. Bo Lamberts. Let's jump on board with Lobat. But I've got to stop picking on people on a fast lap, because every time I do, it's going wrong for them.
It is, yeah, the old commentator's curse. I'm just looking at the 2 Aston Martins. They're really not going well. Ryan Davies is in 13th, and KD is in 21st.
However, I will give Ryan Davies my favourite livery based on the touring car.
Yeah, was that on the Honda?
Yes.
The Civic.
Let's go back to Adam D and see if he is going to decide to avoid the sausages this lap. Gets through there nicely, but he's only on par with his current time at the moment. The track is still fast. Will be getting a bit quicker, lap by lap. D comes into the corkscrew and he gets it really scribbly through there and loses a load of time. There is no one improving at the moment.
No, and it's not as if the track temperature is, it's not getting worse or colder, or the track's going back to green. It just looks like everybody's pushing a little bit too hard.
Literally, as I've said, no one is going faster. ACC Race Control has lit up with 7 people who are now deciding to improve their laps. And one of them is Adam D, as he's made half a second up in the final sector. Crosses the line and goes P5. So if he can get the first part of the lap right, he could get himself into a top 3 position.
You're not getting it wrong. You're making prophecies that immediately turn out to be false.
About the same as anyone who's ever made a prophecy. But that's another conversation. Let's take a look at Mr. Watts as he comes into the first corner. And I think he ran a bit wide there because all of his time has gone on the Delta. We've got Danny Medina in wild card racing. Nice. Howard has just knocked Adam D down to P6. We are into the last few minutes of qualifying. And Ryan Davies is, I think he's parked that one up for the rest of qualifying, right? Yep, yeah, still sat in the pits.
I did ask Mr. Will Dendy about his opinion, because I just said, I chose the Aston to drive in the rookies, and it was a bit of a... Ooh.
Yeah, the Aston pre the latest update on ACC was the car. I think every major competition and 24-hour race was an Aston Cup race more than anything. It's definitely not the car to be in anymore.
No.
Ooh, as we get someone else losing it at the corkscrew. Let's jump on board with Sam Relton and let's watch Sam Relton. I've done it again. I am a sniper.
Very fitting as we're racing in America today.
Wow. Let's go back on board with Andy Hearn in the...
No, don't. You'll curse. You'll curse.
correctly, let's say the correctly liveried Honda NSX for Laguna Seca. Castrol livery is definitely one of the best. I don't think there's a car that livery can look bad on. As there's someone else. That's Johnny Ashley in the corkscrew. And I'm not laughing because it's Johnny Ashley. I am. It's just... I literally was about to click on him to see how he was getting on.
Andrew Hearn survived the corkscrew. He's coming around to the last corner now. Very sharp left-hander.
He is, and he's made time through there. He's a couple of tenths up, so this is going to move him back into P2. Crosses the line, and he is 3 tenths off Mr. Watts with 3 T's. I've just noticed Watts has got 3 T's in his name. That is...
It's been like that for a year, I'm sure.
Okay, well, as you can tell, I've never streamed and looked at the names too heavily.
Adam would call him Shane Watt. Yeah.
Sounds like something off of the Fast Show.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Okay, so let's jump on with Adam D. We are a minute left of qualifying, so anyone now starting their lap will be on their final flying lap. This will be Adam's final flying lap.
He needs to get this right. The pressure's on now. If he wants to improve, he needs not to take too much sausage, and he needs to not mess it up down the corkscrew. He needs to get on the... He needs to find his apexes. Move.
Yeah, looking at everyone's times on the deltas, they are literally either slightly improving, and he's okay through there. He's a 10th up at the moment as he comes into the corkscrew. Oh no! I should not have left it on him for a lap.
Pew.
There's another one.
Ryan Davies is out. Didn't expect this.
He is improving as well.
A last-minute attempt.
At the moment, he is 3.2 seconds off and is actually behind De Vroid in a Lambo ST, which is going to be painful off the line.
The Aston I found, it is quite understeering, but so I have to dab the brakes mid-corner to get the car to rotate, and then you try and put your foot down as well.
That's too much sausage curb.
Rotate.
So he has lost all of his time.
He was just heading straight into pits again.
So we've got McNeil in the AMG Evo. Another person. Oh, it's a bit squirrely, and he loses all of his time coming out of there. I'm starting to wonder if I actually should just put the camera on anyone during the race, because I'm just going to ruin everything for everyone. Here we go then, across the line. Can he pit Bo Lamberts for P10? He can. By 2 thousandths of a second. 200ths of a second.
KD, though, he stays 21st.
I believe, is the end of qualifying. That is.
Right, I need to take a short bathroom break. I'll leave you with Jimbo Mancy.
I'll do my best. Okay, so that is qualifying finished. 2 minutes before the cars start the race. The guys will now be doing their setups, making sure they've got their tyre pressures and their fuel correct. Let's take a look at the grid. We take a slow walk through the cars on the grid. You'll see the cars jumping up and down on the jacks as they work on changing their setups. Let's take a look at some of the liveries that you can see in the dark. Soon all the lights of the cars will come on, the engines will start, and we will be getting the formation lap ready to go. There's Johnny Ashley just on the right in the BMW. Ryan Davies not managing to get ahead of Devoid in that Lambo ST, so he is going to have a difficult start off the line. As you suddenly notice, every single car from now on is a Lambo ST. To speed up our little man walking a bit faster down the grid, as there is 30 seconds until the formation lap starts. Another Aston Martin just there. That's KD in the Aston Martin, so he's going to have a difficult start to the race with them Lambos off the line. And we've got a Lexus and an Audi right at the back as well, as you hear the engines start. As mentioned, the lights of all of the cars now come on as we get ready for the formation lap.
And I am back.
Welcome back, just in time. So whilst the cars go out on their formation lap, a couple of things to point out. You will notice next to their numbers in the orange box is a number 2. That means there are 2 mandatory pit stops tonight. They will be for tyres each time. And one thing we didn't do whilst the GT3s were qualifying was the championship standings there. So let's take a look. Leading the GT3s in split 2 is Alex Parkin. He is not here tonight, currently on his way back from Oxford, I believe. He is on 203 points and 13 points ahead of Dirk Bofer. So Dirk Bofer will be looking for a good result tonight and looking to jump Alex Parkin in the championship. In P3 we have got Mr. oNiD himself, Johnny Ashley. He's on 184 points, but after a difficult qualifying, he sees himself down in P9 for the start of the race. It's going to be a tough one and a long race for him. I know he's not had much practice and haven't done the commentary on the sprint series just before as well. P4 we've got Sam Roughton. He's on 141 points, and in P5 we have Ryan Davies, who is having a difficult night so far. Can it improve? Can he find some rhythm in that Aston Martin? Cammy, who's your prediction for the win in GT3s and in the Lambo STs?
I'll put Devoid for the win in the Super Trofeos, but it's a harder choice from the GT3s. I'll say Andrew Hearn.
Very well, the cars are now coming around the final few corners. They will be being told to get into position. Hopefully everyone manages to stay in their grid box and we don't see any drive-throughs at the start of the race in the way mine going tonight. Probably see it at the drive-throughs now.
Yeah, we saw plenty of those in the rookies. Drivers getting disqualified within 3 laps.
But I think as well you have some of the cars will literally just be coming around the final corner as the lights go green. So that's going to make an interesting start, to say the least.
Yeah, and of course the old adage, you can't win a race in the first corner, but you can certainly lose it. And drivers just need to make sure they don't trip over each other or go 3 wide into a corner. So we're heading up to the line now. We're just waiting for the green light. Who's going to react fastest? The green light's on. Watts, Hearn, Bofer, Anderson, they're all away.
So Bofer's had a jump on Hearn there at the start, and
is that Howard trying to sneak up the inside?
Adam D goes round the outside of everyone at turn 1. And does he keep it on the track? He does. What a move from Adam D. That is a fantastic start. A little bit further back, it looks like everyone has got through as cleanly as possible.
Don't say it.
There's a couple of people off in the sand. Let's hope they rejoin safely.
You said it, Van Rooyen's round.
Oh, that's an awful rejoin there from the Lambo, and Van Rooyen is round.
The moment you said it.
Let's get back up to the front. So Watts has managed to get a bit of a lead. He's a second ahead at the moment, but the moves are happening. We've got, oh no, we've got Johnny Ashley dropping down the order. What's happened to Johnny Ashley? Let's jump on for a replay here. So he's finishing sector 1.
So he's behind the white McLaren.
Comes into here and he's going to get a wheel on the sand.
Oh, just
loses it right in front. Fortunately doesn't hit the wall.
Nor anybody
and doesn't
else.
collect anyone else. So he can get going again, and it's a 90-minute race. And where has he come back? He's come back in P23 ahead of Van Rooyen and Davies, who has dropped to the back as well. We missed what happened there, but let's get back to the front. Watts is absolutely running away with this.
Yeah, absolutely.
2 seconds in 1 lap.
Yeah, he's unimpeded. He's got nobody in his way to slow him down. Nobody directly behind him to pressure him and make him sort of drive a defensive line. Unlike Botha, who has got Howard breathing down his neck, chasing for that 2nd place.
He has.
Here's
Andy Hearn, who started P2.
Yeah, he's dropped a couple places. He got jumped at the beginning. He's got Adam D right behind him, who made up. Oh no, Adam D is back down into 6th place. So it looks like that round the outside overtaking May.
Johnny Ashley is in the pits.
Now,
what's happened there? Has he...
Now the pit window isn't open yet.
Well, this one isn't going to count.
No. Unless he thinks...
to be lapped by the lead cars. Watts is now 3 seconds ahead of both of that. Is incredible driving. As you just see a flash of Johnny Ashley's BMW in the pits. And straight in with a 24-1 from Watts. That's a fantastic lap.
I wonder if Johnny Ashley's... I mean, we frown upon rage quits. They are, I think they're penalised in this series as well as other oNiD series, aren't they? Rage quits.
I wonder if there's just something that he hasn't set up right with the car,
or his steering wheel. Could be a hardware thing. If he's lost control of the car and the wheel's spun in his hands and then something's happened, it can happen. I was at Simply Race a couple of weeks ago and Dad's brake pedal came off.
Okay, yeah, that's far from ideal.
Yeah, he was shouting for an Allen key.
But let's jump on with Sam Relton in the oNiD liveried Lexus. He is down in P12.
Yeah, he needs to clear these Lambos quickly.
Yeah, and that's going to be difficult around here because as soon as them Lambos accelerate, there is no catching them, even in a Lexus. Which, oh, and we've got a spinner, and that is one of the Lexuses. That is Bo Lambert's. It was Bo Lambert's causing the yellow flag at the corkscrew. He's managed to stay out of the way, and he will eventually come back onto the track. As you see, all the cars thunder down the corkscrew. There goes Bo Lambert. So great driving there to wait, not try and push his way back on track. Let's go back to the leader. Mr. Watts has done a 23.9 as the fastest lap of the race, and that was just a smidge, 2.8 seconds faster than Botha.
So he's on about qualifying pace at the moment. I think he's going quicker than he went in qualifying, actually, isn't he?
He is, yes.
And he will have about 60 litres
Johnny
of fuel
Ashley has just left the pits.
Now he's a couple laps down. And
I'm wondering if Johnny had some real setup issues there and something didn't go across from qualifying or he forgot. But he is at least on his way out of the pits, albeit he is 2 laps down, so he must have returned to pits as well.
He did, yeah. And Arts in the last of the Super Trofeos has a stop-go 30-second penalty.
He does.
That's very early to pick that up. Would that be track limits already?
I believe he was in the pits as well, so I think he sped going into the pits. As we take a look at Andy Hearn.
Very close to the back of both.
Yeah, up to P3 now, and straight on to P2 as well, but the whole time Watts is just clearing off in that Honda NSX, and he is now 7.5 seconds clear of these guys.
Is Bofa helping? Oh, he's going for a move in the Andretti hairpin. No, he backs off.
He's had a look there.
He's threatening. It's always easier if you can scare someone into a mistake. Then you don't have to put yourself in like a vulnerable position of hoping they see you. So if they just make a mistake and go wide and panic at the sight of you coming out their slipstream, then it's really easier to make the overtake.
Watts is currently lapping over a second a lap faster than these guys behind. So I'm wondering if Watts has gone early on his fuel. Sorry, I should say light on his fuel to pit early. Yeah, is that the case?
Could be. Some drivers, they may want to carry their as much fuel as they can and have quicker pit stops to just do the tyres. Some will be looking to take advantage of a light load and then spend more time in the pit lane. It's all strategy and tactics that the drivers, they don't have their own strategists. They have to come up with this all on their own and hope it works for whatever they choose. As Johnny Ashley just heading around on his own. Joe Gibbs Racing, do you know what that's? Who Joe Gibbs
I believe that's to do with the livery. I believe that is a Joe Gibbs NASCAR livery.
Ah, yep.
Let's go back up towards the front. So we've got Adam D all over the back of Anderson in the McLaren.
So around the 180-degree Andretti hairpin.
Yeah, Adam getting a little bit out of shape on the exit there, which has lost him a couple of attempts to Anderson. Mr. Anderson. Not that, I believe that is the same Mr. Anderson from the Matrix. Adam already pulling that gap back down by 0.3 of a second. So Adam looking really racy tonight. He obviously, I say, I've done it again, but
pushing a bit too hard.
He spent quite a bit of time out of the rig, having now he spent quite a bit of time off the track. I'm literally going to go to someone else because.
And Andrew Hearn's already. Oh, sorry. For a minute, I was speaking as if he was leading. He's still chasing Dirk Bofa. He's not been able to find a way past yet. But all the time he can't get past, Watts is running away with this lead. And I'd say Bofa is definitely holding Hearn up. But it is his place to defend.
So what can he do down into turn 1? Should have more top speed in the NSX. Is he going to go for a move? No. Thinks about it, thinks better of it. I mean, you've got to ask, is this now a race for P2? Watts is 10 seconds ahead. I know we have an hour and 20 minutes to go, but I don't see anyone getting close to Watts at his current pace.
Anything can happen in sim racing, and it usually does.
Well, it just takes me to click on someone at the moment and watch them for a bit, and that seems to just wreck absolutely everything. Talking of which, having sniped Adam D, he is now 2.7 seconds back of Anderson.
So he must have had an off, maybe.
He went off, didn't he? Just here. So we were watching him, and as he turned into this left, he hit the sausage curb and went out into the gravel.
I wasn't sure that was that. I don't think he lost that much time over that.
He may have had a messy corkscrew after getting dirty tyres from going into the sand. So, I mean that in itself is not a euphemism.
No, nobody loves a messy corkscrew. Sparks flying out the back there as the titanium skid plates on the bottom of the car strikes against the ground. Danny Medina. Interesting line.
I think that was getting caught out by the early braking of the ST in front of him. He's getting... Is he going to get him into the final corner?
He's going to go for a lunge.
The only problem is now is he's just not got power to keep with the ST down the start-finish straight. So Chittle will just pull away from him now.
Yeah.
See the closing speed as they come into the braking zone. McLaren will get closer and closer.
The ST has to brake much earlier. He might have gone in a little bit deep there.
Did that time, yeah. So it looks like Chittle's up for the fight here.
Yeah,
I'll say the minute Medina can get past him, he will get away. But at the moment, not really happening for him. Or was he?
Good underdog.
This is his chance now, but you can see the power of that ST. It just pulls away. Chittle. Lots of Medina in his rearview mirror, so much that the red rear lights of the Lambo are lighting up the front of the white McLaren behind as he runs wide out of there.
Yeah, he's feeling the pressure. He doesn't want to let that pace go because he knows he's got that buffer back to Detroit.
Yeah, it is that, but I'm now starting to wonder if he's having to drive so defensively that he is slowing them both up because De Vroid is closing in the background. De Vroid now less than a second behind Medina. And there's the contact. There is the contact. I had a feeling it was going to come somehow. He has held onto the car. I'm not quite sure how.
Let's hope that's not put his rear wing or diffuser out of shape at all, because that would really hurt the corner grip even more, because Super Gervais really aren't great in the corners compared to GT3s. But yeah,
I would imagine Medina is getting infuriated at the moment because he wants to get past. He can see McNeil ahead of him just getting away.
Chaitel just teasing him a little bit there, just sort of ran a bit wide, left the gap, but Medina was nowhere near close enough to take advantage of it. Back with Andrew Hearn now. He's closer than ever to the back of Dirk Botha. He's weaving this left and right, trying to find a way past up the Ray Hall straight, into the corkscrew now, downhill, second gear, third gear. He's just got to follow closely and trying to make a lunge at the last left-hander.
And Medina is going to say past Chittle. Surely Chittle's not going to race him into here. He doesn't, he backs off. But see what Chittle's done there is he's ruined his run out of that corner. And now he has Baz de Vroid looking all over him into the corkscrew.
I think I see Heike van der Veen catching as well.
He is there in the background as well.
Oh,
and we've got them. That's McNeil. McNeil is around. Someone has spun without me having to watch them. Oh, that is a very questionable rejoin.
Yeah, I'd say that needs a bit of a look at the stewards.
Albeit he was already on the track, but the best thing in that situation is just to keep the car still.
Yeah, be predictable in that situation. Dirk Botha still defending that second place.
Have you seen the gap from P1 though now? It's nearly 17 seconds. So these two are going at each other, which is just allowing... I've just heard some sand in the background, so that means someone's gone off. Again, back with Adam D. He
Still in
is
sixth
now,
place.
yeah, sort of holding a steady P6 now.
Big gap back to Medina, who was held up for so long by Chaitel.
Yeah, and now that McNeil has gone and spun in the Merc, Medina is 20 seconds behind Adam D.
Adam nearly spun there, just coming down the corkscrew. The car went a bit squirrely.
Yeah, that's going to be the one that catches people out. If anything was to go wrong, that would be it.
Now, Andy Hearn needs to pull a manoeuvre. It's all very well staying close to the back of the car ahead, but you actually need to pull you need to actually try to overtake at some point. They're not just going to let you past, and you'll be waiting a long time if you're solely relying on them making a mistake. He needs to try to outbrake Botha, because at the moment, Watts is just getting away, and he's just following.
Oh, we've got another spinner. Sam Roughton. No, not Sam Roughton. Heike van der Veen is around. He's lost it through the corkscrew, or possibly on the exit. Let's have a look what went wrong for Heike. He's in there hot and he has lost it on the entry into the corkscrew, and then I think he spun it on the sand.
Oh,
yep.
That's...
And now he's got away.
He'll be kicking himself because he got away with that, mostly, and then made it 10 times worse for himself by just being too heavy-footed.
He has, but I will say one thing. Ryan Davies, who was at the back, is now up to P12 in the Aston Martin. So he is having a great race.
For all the Aston's faults, it's quite a stable, comfortable car to drive. This is the battle for the lead of Super Trofeos, Chital and DeVroid. And it looks like, is that Willie Black there as well? The top three of ST class separated by less than 2 seconds. And they're up in 8th, 9th and 10th place overall. On merit, they're ahead of half the GT3 field. And the pit window
we've got
has...
a Lambo in as... Oh no! Oh no!
Has he just hit... DeVroid, did he just run into the wall? Yeah, see from... So it's his cockpit view, last minute, and...
Oh dear, that...
Now, I'm going to say that was a hardware issue, because his car, very inorganically, just jerked to the right. That didn't look like him turning right.
Happened there, but yeah, that is now a pit stop with damage to fix, because you will not be leaving that one.
High speed head-on collision. Back
Got
with
Van
Hearn.
Rooyen in the pits as well.
If I was Hearn, I'd be looking to get the pit stop done now and try and get the undercut, because he's not.
He can't seem to get close enough out of the final corner. The McLaren seems to have the better exit, and then by the time the NSX is up to speed, the start-finish straight, if you want to call it that, is over.
Yeah, and he's not willing to. Yeah, he's not able to make a move.
So lap ST, yeah, that was a little bit close on the exit.
Watts lead now nearly 18 seconds. And Hearn is as close as he's been. He can't really get any closer without running the risk of running into the back of the McLaren.
No, and they're coming up on a lapped car, so is this an opportunity for him now to... Oh, well, we've had someone pick up a stop go. It's DeVroid. So he sped into the pits. That's why he was turning away. That's why he was turning away from the pit entry, because he was going too fast.
Oh, I see. Yeah, it's a very early pit limiter at Laguna Seca. You'd think it would apply after the left turn, but it doesn't. It applies right at the entrance of... And yeah, he tried to bail out, didn't he? And
so not only is he not bailed out, he's damaged his car and now has a stop go 30. That is...
So his race is in the bin. Unfortunately, as cruel as it sounds to say, he's binned his race.
Yeah, and just here we've got Anderson now right on the back of Howard with Adam D only 2 seconds behind. Can that McLaren get the job done on the Lambo into turn 1? Should be better on the brakes. Is he going to defend? He is. The McLaren looks for the long way round. That isn't going to work around here.
Just try to switch up their lines a little bit, but...
And all the time Adam D in the background. It's just closing in. 10th by 10th.
Hearn is still within a second of both though.
Well, Medina is now setting personal bests now that he has cleared Chittle and is already 12 seconds up the road from him. Watts out front is crossing the start-finish line. His nearest competitor, second to last corner.
19 seconds back. And Hearn still doesn't want to pit.
And doesn't seem to be forcing the move either.
No, unless he's just,
and we've got McNeil around again.
Is that damage I'm seeing to the front? Wasn't sure if I saw the bonnet lifted.
He's got on the sand and not taking his foot off the gas.
Yeah,
and that
into
is
the wall.
a lifted bonnet.
Yeah, that is going to need a long pit stop to repair that.
Oh wow, this is getting interesting because we now have Howard who is trying to lap an ST. Adam's going to get caught up now. To ease off a little bit. Pushes the ST almost around the corner. But Adam is now within a second of Anderson, who is 0.3 behind Howard. So we have a proper battle for P4 here. Mr. McLaren's out on the sand. Is that going to give Adam D the run up into the corkscrew? Comes through the left. You can see the McLaren struggling with dirty tyres, and Adam D gets the move done.
Yep. Didn't even need to make a move as such. Just taking advantage of other people's mistakes, and he is up into 5th place. Now it's Howard ahead of him in the regular Lambo Hurricane.
Really good driving from Adam D. He's having a good race in the rookies at the first round before coming together with someone else. But having spent so long out of the rig, I'm sure he's thoroughly enjoying himself.
Yes, he's foot's all better now as Andrew Hearn is
still goes on.
It's still, yeah, it's sort of unstoppable force, immovable object sort of thing.
Watts now 21.6 seconds clear of the field.
Credit to Bofa, he's not making mistakes, is he? As the Hurricane, as the Super Trofeo keeps well clear.
Got McNeil in the pits in the Merc, and he will be repairing damage and doing one of his mandatory stops. Anderson's had an off. He is now 12 seconds behind Adam D.
Oh dear.
On that, Adam D is a second behind Howard.
I mean, at this rate, we could see Adam D on the podium.
It would only take something to happen between Beaufort and Hearn.
Not even that.
Yes.
I think with enough time, he can catch them.
If they continue to battle as they are, yes, that is a possibility. They will be holding each other up. I do think at the pits, Hearn is going to make a move, whether he undercuts or overcuts.
Around the Andretti hairpin again, still no attempt to overtake, just following.
Sam Broughton in the Lexus on the back of Ryan Davies after his spin earlier at the corkscrew.
Flames popping out the exhaust. Don't spin me right round, baby, right round. There, a bit more singing.
That's a copyright infringement, that one for sure.
Oh yeah, it is.
So just up with Andy Hearn, I can see from here he is right on the back of Dirk Beaufort now.
As he has been for the last 25 minutes, I'd say. Oh,
that is, he's had to back out of that. Yeah, I don't think this Trofeo saw that there was two cars there, and that has cost Hearn bags of time. That he is now 1.2 seconds behind.
Yeah, there's a little bit more traffic ahead of them, so, and Adam D is getting closer and closer to Howard.
He is. I'm wondering if Howard's having some tyre issues in that Lambo.
He's taking much tighter lines.
Wow! That is not... I think Adam was caught out there with the Lambo touching the sand and trying to correct himself. That Lambo does eat the tyres, so I'm wondering, we are 25 minutes into this race. If he hasn't got his pressures right, them tyres will be graining and possibly blistering.
Zimanska in 15th place is taking the first of his two mandatory pit stops.
Yeah, and obviously with what happened to De Vroid. Oh, it was Willie Black. Willie Black has caused the yellow flag and he's had a spin at the corkscrew. I was literally about to say there's a battle between two now for P1 in the STs. But Willie Black has dropped it.
Coming too hot. Don't spin it.
Oh, he's managed to hold on to it. So that's probably the best of a bad situation. He comes into the pits and looks like he slows down just in time for the pit limit board.
Yep, 50 kilometers per hour, 31 miles per hour.
Oh, wow, that Lambo just completely lit the rears up, pulling out of his pit box. So Willie Black comes into the pits. Let's take a look at Ryan Davies. He has got Sam Broughton for company big time.
Sam driving around the outside.
Yeah, there's the outside, and then there is driving into another state in the country, and that one from Sam is never going to work.
You can name what state Laguna Seca's in.
A dark and cold one at the moment.
At the moment, yeah.
Oh, we've got Howard in the pits. So Howard has pit.
So that's released Adam D. You can see him there just blasting off down the pit straight.
There's a terrifying thought, releasing Adam D. He comes down into turn 1. There are cars coming out of the pits, and one of the Lambo STs just getting that pit exit wrong that I mentioned at the start of qualifying, as Adam shows us how to get the exit of the Andretti hairpin wrong as well. I'm not going to be asked back to do a stream memo because everyone I've clicked on has crashed.
That's their problem. Oh,
wow, that was
well, we were
closer than it needed to be. Let's take a look at that. So the Lambo's gone wide through there. Adam has the better speed, and
yeah, didn't expect it. I think it was braking to keep out of Adam's way.
If anyone would like to clip that so that I can use that against the dive bomb, as Adam has come into the pits.
He wasn't expecting it, I don't think, but they were trying to be helpful. Hearn's back within half a second of Bofa.
He's 0.2.
Very.
We've got a stop-go for Ola in the Lamborghini ST. As more people get caught out by the early pit marker board.
Are we going to see 666 make a move on Lucky 7? Not this lap.
No, I don't see where he can make the move.
I mean, if he's not confident about making the move, he's being very mature and sensible to, you know, I'm happier in third place rather than making a move that doesn't come off and we both crash out.
Adam D has come into the pits.
He's lucky that his surname fits on the 3-digit display on the windscreen.
Yeah, I just have man.
Man.
Just
I think
man.
mine at the moment has
Stu.
Which I should change to Cam.
I've just realised Adam D runs with the number 1.
He does, he thinks he's a champion or something, doesn't he?
There is a perfect opportunity to use against him. So Adam D makes his way out of the pits. Howard was the person he was racing against. So where is Howard? Howard comes into the final corner. Adam D is now out of the pits and up to full speed. So it looks like Adam D's got this one done. He has jumped Howard for He has jumped Howard for P4.
And that's not how you...
Oh no, Adam!
Lane, but he is still ahead of Howard.
He has a Willie Black. Willie Black is round. I saw a yellow flag for Willie Black, and it's the corkscrew again.
It's catching everybody out.
And he's
rotating
the curb and spun the car around.
Their cars, their setup must be very stiffly sprung.
Right, there is a problem now.
What is the problem?
Oh no, it's okay. I was wondering if Adam D, because he hadn't exited the pits correctly, it was actually going to count the lap, but it looks like he's okay. As Dirk Bofer is in. Oh, he's in, right. He's back out again.
So Hearn is up into second place now.
He is, and I think Hearn has got the pace to put a couple of fast laps in, if he's got the fuel, and make the overcut. It depends on the traffic that Hearn gets caught in, as we have another stop go for Heike van der Veen.
They're coming thick and fast now as we reach the half-an-hour mark.
Hearn is in clear air. Does he pit straight away? No, he is going to do another lap.
He's finally got some clear air.
It must be nice not to see the rear end of a McLaren for a few minutes.
Yeah, he might not want to pit until at least catching traffic.
Danny Medina is on his way out of the pits. Hopefully he hasn't picked up a stop-go penalty as well. No, looks like he's clear. Adam D, after his interesting pit exit, is 3.4 seconds ahead of Howard, which is now...
Now, Shane Watt's lead has come down. It's almost... Shane Watts' lead is halved.
Can we pick anything up on the replay? We'll have a look, just in case. He may have got caught up with a back marker. One of them is indicating.
He's lost about... I mean, last we checked, he was 20 seconds ahead. Now he's only 11 seconds ahead of Hearn. And he hasn't made a pit stop yet.
Yeah, so it doesn't look like I've picked up the mistake or whatever has happened there, unfortunately, as there was a Lambo just flying off in the background there.
Somebody else's mistake.
Watts is into the pits.
So he will lose that lead.
We've got Boughton in, Davies in, Chittle in.
Inside his car.
Van der Veen is in for his stop-go.
He needs to make sure he hasn't sped again.
I believe he would have been disqualified if he had.
It will only tell you when you're leaving the pit lane, though.
Well, let's hope that that doesn't happen.
No. Hearn has assumed the lead of the race now.
Shane Watts still in the pits. So Anderson is up to P2. He's still yet to take one of his pit stops.
Most of the field have gotten their first one out of the way. Chaitel is another driver who still needs to make his first pit stop.
My interest lies with when Hearn pits, where he comes out. Oh! And our leader has a stop go 30.
Speeding in the pit lane. That's disastrous news. He had a huge lead, it halved, and now he's got a stop go 30-second penalty.
Willie Black has gone past Chittle. So, hold on. What's happened here? Willie Black is now in the lead of the STs, even having spun twice, or 1.5 times at the corkscrew. He now leads Chittle by 23 seconds.
Chittle's just coming out of the pit, so...
But
how's that worked out?
I can't believe, having had a 21-second lead, that Watts now has a stop go 30. Surely you just stay steady and calm.
Well, now he's got to get the hammer down. He's got the pace to make this time back. You know, he's got almost an hour to do it. So he needs to
but if Andy Hearn has been unlocked, I don't see him catching Andy Hearn. Sam Broughton and Ryan Davies, the battle continues as Sam goes around the outside after Ryan Davies goes off the track, which causes Sam Broughton to go off the track.
Watts is into the
and
pit
allows Ryan Davies to go back around the outside. And this one continues down the start finish straight, and Sam is eventually passed.
Ryan is eventually passed.
And Watts straight back in the pits for his stop go. So where is this going to bring him out? So Bofa has just passed him.
He's stationary. Oh yes, 30 seconds he's got to stay still for. So Dirk Bofa goes through. So Adam's 30 or 34 seconds behind.
So from the looks of things at the moment, as we've got an incident here, Johansson is off. What's happened here? Johansson, well, it wasn't the corkscrew that he had the accident at, but oh dear, oh that's really poor from the Audi.
Oh,
that is really poor.
Caught out by how early the Super Trofeos have to brake.
Andy Hearn is in the pits, but having looked at his last lap time against Bofas, I think he's done enough to jump them.
Shane Watts is back on the move in 6th place.
Bofa comes into the final couple of corners. Andy Hearn still stationary at the moment. He's now away. This is going to be very, very tight. Let's jump onto the helicam and see if we can see them both.
He just needs to make sure he's
so there's Bofa and there's Hearn. So it's all going to be through turn 1. This is going to be so tight, and it looks like Bofa has done it. He has. So Hearn, no better off. We are literally back into the same position we have been for the past 35 minutes.
Oh.
And this is now for the net lead because Anderson's still yet to make one of his stops. Again, if you look at the little orange box next to their racing number, you'll see Anderson has a 2. That means he has 2 mandatory stops to take, and Bofa has a 1, which means he has taken one of his 2 and has 1 left to go. Cammy, what would be your strategy in this? Would you take both stops close together and get them out of the way and then just focus on consistency and doing your laps?
Whenever I come up on traffic, I will try and... It will depend on what I've prepared pre-race, but I would want to take them when I approach traffic.
Right, well, just a little bit further back, we've got Adam D in P4. Now, he is ahead of Watts. Watts has actually come out 16 seconds behind Howard. So Watts has got a lot of ground to make up. We're currently looking at 16 seconds to Howard, who is 2 point, well, he's catching Adam D up quite rapidly, actually.
I think he can get back onto the podium.
I think he can get back onto the podium. It all depends on Anderson. But Anderson does have 2 stops to make.
Is this 4th, 5th and 6th quite close together? No, it's 14 seconds back, isn't he?
He is, but he is closing in rapidly. He still holds the fastest lap of the race with a 23.7. Up at the front.
Aiden's last lap was a 26. Bofa's last lap 25.0.
Adam's last lap was a 27.5, so he's had a real scruffy lap there.
Ooh, yeah.
And Howard is closing in rapidly. And what's going on with Adam D? Because he had the pace before the pit stops.
Could be that when changing the tyres, you can set the pressures you want your tyres, or click last. I think it's you click use current pressures. So if his new tyres have come on with different pressures to his old ones, that could be affecting his drive.
Yeah, looking at his lap time, I mean, if he's not having a scruffy lap. Whoa! And he's possibly just picked up 2 track warnings in 2 corners. Yeah?
Yeah, very scruffy corkscrew there from Adam. He just needs to calm down a bit. Otherwise, he's just going to throw away his solid result at the moment. It's on for. Because Anderson needs to pit, and they'll pass him.
I'm just thinking, if Adam's got his pressures wrong, there is no reason why he couldn't just pit again and go to the end. Because he is going to lose so much time if he's got the wrong pressures on that guy. Back at the front, normal service resumes as Bofa and Han go against each other. And they lap the Aston Martin of KD. Oh, Bofa getting very close to the ST. Yeah, he had a real moment there coming out of the corkscrew. Oh, that is closer than you need to be. Oh no, and I've done it again. I've done it again.
Pew.
Adam D loses it at the corkscrew. I genuinely think he's got some... Oh, dear God.
Oh,
he's got some real tyre issues there. I think he has put the wrong pressures on because the car just looks like a different animal from the first stint.
Yeah, he's not comfortable at all. If he realises it is the tyres, then he does need to jump into the pits.
And here he comes. Here he comes into the pits.
Now, be careful not to speed.
He's definitely not, because his lights were flashing about a mile before the pit line. So he's made sure. Although he has just tried to drive into the... Oh, no, he has. He did just clip the pit wall on his way in for good measure. So
it looked like he came to a dead stop.
So Adam D back into the pits. Something not quite right with the car. Fuel, tyres, who knows? We'll find out after the race. Anderson is in from the lead, so he will now resign that to Bofa, who It's just come out of the corkscrew. And as ever has Andy Hearn less than a second behind him. They come up on the Lambo ST, Beaufort gives him a flash and makes the move on the inside, nice and calm. Got Hearn coming up. Oh no! Oh no! Well, I am not here to adjudicate, but that was on the that was on the Lambo. I think Hearn had enough space. He'd left enough space on the inside. Yeah, the Lambo didn't want to cut across the pit lane. Okay, well.
Or expecting Super Trofeo to be braking already.
As Adam D makes his way out of the pits.
Hopefully that is his tyre nightmare over. He's only one of 3 drivers to have taken all 3 pit stops.
Can he get 50% of his pit exits right? Just. Just. So Adam D gets on with it. He has come out in P12, but he has completed both of his pit stops, which is now indicated by the lovely green box next to his number.
Beep. Only De Vroid and M. Reinars have also taken their 2 mandatory stops. Sumanska is taking his 2nd pit stop now.
Yeah, and let's just take a quick look at Johnny Ashley. So some issues at the start of the race after a spin on the first lap.
Yeah,
but he has
down.
He's settled in, and he's now his best lap is actually a 24.7. Which is the same best lap that our race leader Dirk Beaufort has done.
Solid pace, just it's a shame what happened
at the start.
Yeah. Shane Watts, he's back up into 4th place. He's made up a place from Adam having to take a 2nd pit stop.
And Anderson making his pit stop as well.
And
that is a lapped car of Van Rooyen, I believe, that he's just made his way past. Okay, so Watts back on for a podium. He has 6 seconds to Howard.
His last lap, 123.9, so only 0.2 off his best time. And he's really pushing there as he clips the sand.
Ryan Davies has now done both of his pit stops as well. So check in on Adam D. Has he sorted the tyre issues out?
Don't look at him.
Maybe we'll just leave him to it. Just feel like anyone I click on now is going to feel victimised if anything goes wrong. Oh no! That is not
nearly.
Again, Andy Hearn picks up a Super Trofeo just coming over the crest after the start-finish straight. This one has got away a little bit more and moves out of the way into turn 1.
Every time
that cost Hearn a couple of attempts there.
Every time he gets up close to Botha, there's something that comes on.
So what have we got going on further down the field? So Rhodes. Now this is Rhodes, who is clipped by Hearn coming over the start-finish line. He is currently in 5th in the Lambo STs.
So a solid midfield run at the moment, racing for a team called Brown Cinnamon.
Nice.
Do you remember when the internet decided the Cinnamon Challenge was a thing?
Yeah, we've been talking about this at work the last few days, and
business is slowing.
Yeah, there's some quite hilarious reactions to it. I myself see absolutely no interest in putting a ladle full of cinnamon in my mouth and trying to see how long I can hold on to it for. The internet is a strange place at times.
Have they been telling you it's a ladle because you only have to do a spoonful?
Oh no, I just eat with a ladle. That's what I use. So back at the front, Andy Hearn gets an ST3 run. That sounded terrible. We'll start again. Andy Hearn comes into turn 1.
I have an ST. A Ford Fiesta ST.
Okay, good. I'm glad that was clarified. So this,
There
our
is a
battle
back-
for the lead.
Back marker up the road. It could be Johnny Ashley up the road.
Let's jump on board with Johnny Ashley. Where
Just
is... No, Johnny Ashley's going through the corkscrew.
I was wrong. I was trying to go by the headlights.
Watts is getting the gap down to Howard in P3, now 4.4 seconds behind, and again on that last lap, or actually he was slower on the last lap, so Watts possibly held up by the Lambos that you can see just behind him there.
Yeah, it cost him about 3 seconds.
Oh, we've lost Hearn.
Well, he's disconnected, or
Nope, Hearn has dropped it through the corkscrew, I believe.
as long as he hasn't hit a wall, let's find out. So he's chasing Bofa up Ray Hall Straight. Has it just over rotated?
Oh.
Yes, it has.
And a tiny tap with the wall. No major damage, but
and he gets on his way. So
also
Bruce
managed to hold
Nigo,
on to P2. So
Shane Watts would be happy
Oh.
to know about that. Ooh, yeah, he took a bit of curve there.
it just launches itself.
So that's, I don't think that's Howard ahead of him. I think that's a Super Trofeo. I think Howard is the next car ahead.
Watts closing in now down to 2.2, and the fastest lap of the race that last lap with 23.6.
He's pushing very hard, and he knows that victory is still within grasp for him.
Yeah,
As
so
long
he
as
now
doesn't make
has 2 seconds to Howard, who has 19 seconds to Hearn, but
Somebody's
just seen Hearn
stopped
make a
on the-
mistake. May
I
have
thought
been that Lambo.
Yeah, I thought it stopped on the track. It was barely moving on the map. But so Watts has cleared that Super Trofeo. Now there's the second one that he's going to meet just
And
as
that's Howard
that
just
kink.
in front of him. Yeah, so
The wrong
Watts
place
just
to
needs
meet
to be a
one.
bit patient here. Okay, now up to the corkscrew. Is the Lambo going to let him past? Yes, in possibly the strangest way possible. And I genuinely thought the Lambo was about to run into the back of him,
That was.
have an outbreak themselves.
I can see their logic, but it was unusual, wasn't it?
They could have stayed to the right.
If they were on the but they stayed to the left to allow Watts to stay on the racing line.
Yeah, as Watts doesn't waste any time. And
No.
oh, wow, that. Well, that from
now-
Howard was.
Yeah,
I can
Watts.
only assume he doesn't have a radar or anything on, because Watts was beside him.
Yeah, he was absolutely alongside. Maybe a helicopter view. Just sort of the best way to see above them. But I
No,
would
it's
have
Adam D's helmet cam is how I know it. So a bit of a lunge from Watts, but it looks like he's got the car stopped and he's there. But
Yeah.
wow, that is.
I'd say he was far and he had more than 3/4 of the car up alongside, and Howard just didn't see him and just turned into him. He'll be. I'm surprised me if
back
Shane.
at it now. So
He's caught him very quickly again, hasn't
yeah, I think Watts. Oh wow, I thought he was.
he? Now
confident
Howard
there.
will know he's there this time, surely. Looking back, rear-mounted camera looking back as they go through the corkscrew. And race simulators never do
gonna
these
make-
corners justice in
Is he
terms
going
of
to
how
make the move?
steep they
Is he
are.
going to make the move into the same corner again?
I think he'd like to try it because he'd be like, right, now you can't say you're not expecting it this time, Howard. Oh, and Howard gets squirrely there. Is it
And this time Watts puts the squeeze on Howard and he gets the move done.
cuts across cuts across him?
It looks like he's got the run out of there as well. I expect Watts to be later on the brakes into turn one. He is.
Howard knows when he's beat, he's not sort of doing any silly lunges to try and come back at him. His tyres are worn. You said the Hurricanes go through their tyres quicker than other cars, I
The
think.
rear tyres definitely.
Oh, there's a car off track there.
Oh, here we go. And that is. I'm not getting a yellow flag from anyone, so.
No, never mind. I just saw it on the map as
No, I saw it too, but Yeah, no yellow flag. So back up the front, Adam D making his way back through is right on the back of Chittle now, who we've seen from Chittle not afraid to battle with the GT3s.
No, he's not letting D pass there. He just cut across him.
No, but
D.
however, at this point, I'd be looking if I was Chittle that Adam D has completed both of his pit stops. He is in a totally different race to Chittle.
You don't want someone making a mistake and running into the back of you either when you're second in class.
No, so down through the corkscrew.
Take it easy for the corkscrew. At least behind the Super Trofeo, it forces Adam to take it easy through the corkscrew. Lunge down the inside. Triton gives him space.
Yeah, and he's just not moving out of the way, is he?
No, and that Lexus is one of the faster cars in a straight line, and you saw how the Super Trofeo just pulled away.
But you see what that's doing to Adam's lap time there. So his best lap is a 25.0. That was a 28.9.
Which is, yeah, Super Trofeo times.
Yeah, so getting caught up by the Super Trofeo is
Pain.
not helping his progress at all. He wants to get past Chittle, he'll want to get past Willie Black. He's done both of his pit stops, so he'll be looking to see what he can do against Rowton, Medina and Anderson.
Now, curious, how far behind Watts is from Hearn? Ah, there we are, 23.4 seconds. Watts is 23 seconds behind Hearn. Now, keep that audience, keep an eye on that number and see how it changes in the next couple of laps.
So can Adam get the move done this time? I don't know if he's going to make it up into the corkscrew.
Be careful
hope
through
not.
the corkscrew.
Oh, as Chittle goes wide,
Oh, and
drives
there's
straight
contact.
back on the track and just stops right in front of Adam, who rightly gives him a flash.
Yeah, he's very annoyed, frustrated there because they shouldn't be competing with each other on the track, really. It should be a simple overtaking manoeuvre.
Oh wow!
Adam
I think that was partly Chittle kind of saying, "Please go past." What is so?
Why has and I think Adam was trying to stop Chittle just driving back past, but Chittle just drove. Would you have said he was off track there? Because he was definitely on that sort of runoff area over the white line.
At the same time, I kind of don't really understand the want to race. He's now letting him back up.
Oh, that.
Okay,
now,
that is.
He's and Adam. So it's like he's got a vendetta against Adam D, isn't it? He let the McLaren go by, but he absolutely didn't want to let Adam go by. And
okay, yeah, that is.
I think.
Well,
Adam,
that's one for race director to look at after the race.
Yeah, Adam will not be pleased because that's not the first time they've made contact.
We're not here to discuss the incidents. We can show you them, but everything is dealt with by race director after the race. So back at the front, both his leads to Hearn is now down to 8.6 seconds. So Hearn has time to close back up to Bofa. Watts, I don't see. I think the damage he's picked up on his car.
2 seconds. He's made up 2 seconds in the last lap.
Okay.
Or sorry, in the last 2 laps could have passed in that time. So I think he is at least catching a second a lap.
Probably going to have about 17, 18 laps of this race to go. As Chittle is in the pits after what I can only say is questionable tactics. And we have Danny Medina in. And where is Adam D in all of this? Adam D is way back.
Oh, and he's going to be having nightmares of Super Trofeos for a while.
Yeah, it's questionable to say the least. I'm not going to say any more on it, but Fortunately, race director won't have to go far to get the incident as we had it on stream. Adam again takes a questionable line through the corkscrew.
Hopefully,
all off the curb.
Hopefully, he's not got too much damage that's affecting the front splitter or the rear diffuser. So that would be a shame if it's really compromising his corner speed.
Nope, I'm just going to...
Super Trofeo heading into the pits there.
So Adam does get past Danny Medina, who has been in the pits for what seems like forever. Oh, he had loads of damage to get fixed. I've just literally caught it as the bonnet went from being up to fixed. So Adam D's made up another place there.
Watts is now only 19 seconds behind Hearn. Another 2 seconds slashed from Hearn's lead over Watts. So Watts is absolutely charging at the moment.
So we could see Watts on the back of Hearn in 10 laps.
Maybe 12. Oh, sorry. Yeah, 10 laps. Yeah, that would.
If he's
be
taking
about
2 seconds a lap, yeah, that would be.
Yeah.
Oh,
another questionable line.
Watts.
At 24.0 was Watts' last lap, so again, very close to his fastest lap. He's driving very hard indeed. Not too much traffic ahead of him. Hearn is catching Bofa a little bit. He's caught him by about a second.
Yeah, that's down to 7.6 seconds. Watts has just gone off track and had a bit of a moment there as he's come through the fast left-hander. Has he hit the sausage curb on the inside and lost the car? Nope, just wide. Maybe Watts pushing...
Didn't look like it cost him too much time.
No, maybe just pushing a little bit too hard. He can see that the gap's there and he can see that he has the speed to reel them in, as Chittle this time decides that moving out of the way of a GT3 is the best thing to do. And just I know he's got to do another stop. Oh, I've done it again.
Johnny boy.
I was about to say Johnny's got himself up to P13.
Oh.
He has got to stop again, but...
Johnny boy. He gets knocked down and he gets up again. I won't sing it.
Howard is in the pits for his final stop, as is Willie Black.
Watts is now 20 seconds back from Hearn, so he has lost a bit of time there.
It's just a plethora of flashing lights coming into the final corner as Adam D again tries to make his way past lap cars, STs. But Howard... So Howard has had some real issues because Adam D is now back ahead of him. Or is he a lap down?
I mean,
Adam's
what
a
driver
lap down.
hasn't?
Oh, I apologise. Adam was technically a lap down on...
Oh. I mean, what driver hasn't had dramas this race?
Dirk Bofa,
Good point.
who leads, and now 9.3 seconds. So Hearn must have had a incident somewhere. His last lap was a 27.5.
I think he just probably got caught in Super Trofeo traffic. That seems like a Trofeo time, doesn't it? Watts has got the gap back down to 16 seconds, though.
So he still has time to get into P2. I can't see him making 27 seconds.
I think he can still do it.
I think Adam D is now going to settle in for the rest of the race. He has Ryan Davies, so he's going to settle in. He has Ryan Davies 18 seconds behind him, but he is 51 seconds behind Howard. So he won't be making up another place unless there is a serious incident.
Probably
All
want to
Adam
hope
needs
he
to do
doesn't,
now is just get his head down, focus on finishing the race.
and hope he doesn't come across Triton again.
There is that. There is that. So who have we got left to pit? So basically the top 5 still have to pit as well. There's Triton.
Bit of a gaggle there. And I saw McNeil was trying to unlap himself against Adam D.
Yeah, he was. He's still sat behind him at the moment. So McNeil, who had a quite a big crash early on in the race, ended up with a flappy bonnet. That's a better line through the corkscrew, Adam. Much better. As Anderson has just, the last lap, set his personal best with a 24.8. So Anderson finding some pace late on in the race.
Watts is 16 seconds back from Hearn still, so must have been held up a little bit. He's not shrunk the gap down that lap.
Ronnie Ashley has completed his pit stops and launches his M4 over the sausage curb, but he is up to P18.
And I suppose there's an outside chance. Could he catch Heike van der Veen? Are they on the same lap?
So let's look at this. Heike van der Veen, he is on the same lap and he is 32 seconds behind him.
Oh, maybe not.
So we've got Johansson with a yellow flag.
Watts is now 26 seconds behind. What is going on there? He's lost 10 seconds.
Johansson, on the sand, puts the power down and bonk into the wall. So we've got KD in the pits.
Watts is into second place.
We've got Beaufort in the pits, that's why. Beaufort has done his last pit stop. So he is away. Sam Relton in as well, but a lap down on Beaufort.
Resuming the race at a sedate, gentle pace.
Yeah,
until he gets over the speed limit line. Off he goes.
And he's come out with clear track as well, so that is Anderson ahead of him. However, there isn't ST. They've just passed as well.
Got the car slowed down. Round the edge of the hairpin pit lane. On he goes. Now it's onto the flag.
So Adam D gets up to P6, so he's managed to jump Sam Relton.
McNeil is just following him, so...
Not a bad thing to do. Adam's pace is relatively strong. He's just done a 25.6. To put that into context, our leader has done a 25.0, so he's only 0.6 of a second a lap off the lead cars. Watts now 21 seconds behind Hearn. So what is going on with Watts? Has he... I'm just wondering how bad that damage is.
I think the timing got a bit squirrely as Beaufort went into the pits.
Beaufort takes it nice and easy through the corkscrew. Cold tyres.
He is still catching because it was 16 seconds to Beaufort and then another 8 seconds to Hearn, which would make about 24 in total, but it's down to 21 seconds. So Watts is still catching, he's still on target. 20 seconds now.
Got Adam D, Sam Relton 12.5 seconds behind him. So Sam in the last 25 minutes is McNeil. Oh, so McNeil's had a bit of an off. What's happened there?
Well, we said
following Adam D.
Adam. Yeah, it's here, isn't it? No.
No, I think it's the second to last corner. I think he's gone out wide onto the sand. As Adam did as well. Oh, they both did. Oh, he followed Adam.
But Adam, I was following your example.
That is him round. Oh, as Watts again is really, really pushing. I would hate to think how far Watts would be ahead had he not had a stop go.
Oh, let's not think about it. but he's still catching.
Watts and Anderson are only 3 people, I believe, left to take a pit stop. They are.
I think Watts is going to need to rely on Hearn getting, having a spin or having an off, because they're both going to be meeting the same traffic. It just depends if Shane really handles the traffic better than Andrew does.
Hello?
So Johnny Ashley.
Got a raid. Apparently from Box Motorsports, it's just said on my stream.
Oh, how many people?
I missed that. Party of 12. Thank you very much.
Welcome, Dozen. Join us in the last half an hour of an hour and a half night race at Laguna Seca with GT3s and Lamborghini Super Trofeos. Everybody's up 3 cars have taken them 2 mandatory pit stops.
This is interesting. Heike van der Veen is now going to try and pass Chittle for position.
Chittle now is only 4th in class. He was one of the favourites for winning in the class, wasn't he?
He was at one point, but oh, we have Hearn in the pits. And I'm sure both will jump in with ease. Yeah, there goes Beaufort. So gets moving now, I believe. Yep, he's away. I thought I could hear his car rumbling in the background.
There was about an 8-second gap between them before their final pit stops. Shane Watts has resumed, taken back the lead.
He has. Unfortunately, he has a pit stop to make.
He does indeed. He needs
which will be
to...
his 3rd one of the night.
Yeah,
well,
he
that
needs
looks like
to
it's
get
going to be fun
fast
for
laps
him.
in.
Wow.
That Super Trofeo moves well out of the way. Well done.
Yeah, great driving by Ofer from there. Watts made it clear he wanted to take the inside, and the Trofeo gave him the space.
That's Medina ahead of him. The number 100 McLaren in 9th place, 2 laps down.
Oh!
Whoa!
And that was
What did I just see?
the Vroid.
Replay! I didn't see it on board. He came in like a missile. Like his brakes weren't working. So
He's moved out of the way of Johnny Ashley to let him past.
Cockpit view.
And he has just totally missed his braking point there. And somehow Johnny Ashley has seen it coming and avoided it.
Somehow he didn't shoot back across the circuit.
And the Vroid with serious damage back in the pits.
Yeah.
So with all of that, Johnny Ashley's back up to P16.
And
As we have Anderson in the pits.
He's past KD, so he's not last in class anymore.
Oh, we have a yellow flag for Reiners, who is pirouetting on the sand.
Yeah, he's out of everybody's way.
Yep,
no
track.
one around.
Yeah,
Rejoins.
But now it's Johnny Ashley coming up on him quite fast. So Johnny Ashley, not too far from Heike van der Veen now.
Pits. Watts is in the pits.
Watts in the pits. So he pulls in both at only 20 seconds behind now, so he's going to take that position quite easily.
It should only be about 15 seconds between them when they come out for straight run to the flag. They're both at turn 11 now, the 70 degrees tight left-hander.
So
driving
both
up
goes
the hill,
past.
to the start-finish
Watts
line, over the
still
start-finish
stationary.
line. He's still there, yep. Andrew Hearn now coming up to the last corner, turn 11. I think I just heard Shane Watts.
Yep, there he goes.
Away.
So Watts is pulling away, but as you can see, that was Adam D just going past him there as well. So Adam D has unlapped himself on Watts.
As you see, behind Watts is an 80-second gap to Anderson. Not 18, 8-0.
Yeah, so Watts is off and running again.
Oh, and Watts is going to have to get through this little bit of GT3 traffic on the way out.
Just wanted to check on Heike van der Veen, who's coming up on another Lambo ST 4 position. And the ST... Oh, he just gives it to him there, yeah. Better stuff from the ST.
Yeah, nice
Nothing
stuff
to really get caught up in there.
That's what we like to see, isn't it?
Ronnie Ashley would have been hoping that Heike was held up just a little bit more with 18 minutes to go.
Right, so Hearn is 14 seconds behind Botha.
Both has really pulled the lead out. He's got 30 seconds to Watts, so I think both are safe.
And Watts is 16 seconds behind Hearn. So Botha is ahead of both those drivers.
Good, good. I don't know if that sort of thing is on the bingo card, but if it is, if cheesy...
It just made me think of, you know, Ligma.
Oh, okay.
You know, Botha and Ligma.
Yep. Yep. Right, what have we got? Howard has managed to somehow drop behind Anderson.
And they're side by side.
Into the final corner, coming up on a couple of Lambo STs. This should be chaos. Howard in the Lambo takes the tighter line and better exit. However, the McLaren is going to get a slipstream now from the STs in front. That Lambo has some insane straight line speed though. What happens into turn one? Oh no! That was always going to happen. Oh,
contact, and then contact again.
Anderson has taken to the pit lane to then get... Well, somehow Anderson's got an advantage out of all of that. So we'll see what happens with that one after the race as well. Sam Rowland just does his personal best lap of the race with a 25.5.
Very nice. Don't look at drivers through the corkscrew. It makes him self-conscious and they'll likely make a mistake.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. And Adam D, 12 seconds ahead of Sam Rowland, so personal little owned battle there between them two.
I don't think Watts is going to catch for the win or second place.
Oh, okay, that's good. Anderson has let Howard by after the mishap in turn one, so good racing. Howard does everything he can to mess up the corkscrew.
I love the sparks flying at night.
Yeah, I think the sim looks really, really good. Nighttime, sunset or sunrise.
I think they put that on the back of the box. Looks really, really good.
So
games don't come in boxes anymore, do they?
No, everything's digital nowadays, isn't it? It's,
do you remember when PC games didn't come in like DVD cases, but they came in like big cardboard boxes?
The kind of thing Amazon sends you a reel of sellotape in. Yeah, it's,
and you'd lift the top off rather than like click it open.
Wow.
And it'd all be different sizes on your like your bookshelf or whatever. There was no standard.
It's just going to get tight into here. Howard trying to go up the inside of an ST. The ST
keeps well clear.
Yeah, he made enough room there, and Anderson decided that he should have made more. Pit window is closed. Everyone has completed their pit stops.
15 minutes to go. The track is still fast. It never progressed to optimum.
No.
And it's just 9 degrees outside.
Ooh,
and
let's
on the
jump
track.
on board with Johnny Ashley, who is now fighting Chittle for position.
Ooh.
You know how that's gone for football.
Yeah, is that Johnny flashing his lights?
Possibly.
I think I did see it, yeah.
Oh.
Careful,
Johnny's
Johnny.
got himself a bit wound up with that.
Keep your cool, Johnny. Johnny, be
Oh,
cool.
wow, he is late on the brakes into the corkscrew, but that M4 on the brakes is one of the best.
Yeah, it's a very stable, comfortable car to drive, like the Aston, but the BMW is in the
And Johnny takes no prisoners there and throws it up the inside of Chittle. Nicely done.
yeah, very sort of in control
So we
overtake.
have our race leader coming up to lap. Johnny as well.
He's cleared Chital as well.
Thank God. So Dirk Bofer from SSR Motorsport. We have a few SSR Motorsport guys in oNiD. In Split 1 I know we have someone who I spend a lot of time racing against, which is Dylan Beeson. I believe we have Jamie Suckling as well.
I was told what SSR means.
Oh, please.
Which I didn't know. Did you know?
I have no idea.
Supersonic Racing.
Oh, okay.
Which is why they have Sonic and Shadow the Hedgehog on top of the cars. Because I would always say, oh, there's the car with Shadow the Hedgehog on top. And Dan told me yesterday it's Supersonic Racing.
Oh, right, okay. Not a bad team name, actually. Some of them can be quite cheesy. As Hiker has decided that he's going to watch the rest of the race from the bottom of the corkscrew. Oh, as Johnny gets out on the sand, which leaves Dirk Bofer an easy pass on him. Back here we have Anderson and Howard. This is going to go on until the end of the race now. And again, I go on to people racing and someone goes off.
Yeah. 20 past midnight in Sim. Watts is 13 seconds behind Hearn. He's not catching quick enough.
No, I think that one is done and dusted.
Bofer and Hearn have both been driving very well tonight. They've not really put a foot wrong, have they? Especially Bofer.
But Bofer, at the moment, I don't want to tempt fate, but is my driver of the day.
Yeah.
He spent the first 25-30 minutes with Hearn in his mirrors, didn't make a mistake, managed to stay ahead of him after the pit stops, and just pulled the gap from there. So fingers crossed he continues as he is for the next 11.5 minutes.
Yeah, a solid drive. Just nothing spectacular. Just done everything careful, Johnny. He's getting a bit close to the back of
yeah, and this I think is going to be more frustration than anything for Johnny, because he's currently sort of holding pace pretty much with the race leader, so it shows you where he could have been.
Yeah. But Bofer just giving a flash of the lights for the Super Trofeo there that keeps to the left. Johnny looking to slip by as well.
Yeah, Johnny's gone deep and wide there because I think he thought the ST was going to
now they drag racing
his way. So we've got some people in the pits, Heike van der Veen, Breiners and Arts, who have been in for quite some time now.
The Super Trofeo is back ahead of Johnny.
Yeah, he would have got him on the exit. As Sam Roughton has had a spin, and that is a corkscrew special by the looks of it. So that is going to give Adam D some breathing space for the end of the race.
Shower of sparks. Up Rahal straight. Bit late on the brakes.
Bit late across the sand, and unfortunately when you do that you kind of have to just let off the accelerator and let the car roll and do what it needs to do. If you apply the power, then the rears just, when they hit the track, spin up and turn you around.
10 minutes to go. Watts is still closing that gap, but nowhere near quick enough. 12 seconds back now from Hearn.
So let's just jump on board with Willie Black, our Lambo ST leader.
He's having a good... Well, there's been a few dramas, and it's been
He's had
interesting.
a couple of spins.
Johansson is a driver I've not heard anything from.
No, sort of stayed quiet.
Keeping out of people's way.
He is, but he has Chittle closing in for the last 9.5 minutes, so he is only 2 seconds behind. And Johansson has just had a very scruffy lap with a 1:30.9, and Chittle has done a 28.2, so 2.7 seconds on that lap alone. As Hiker comes out of the pits.
Not the fastest out there, but decent enough pace. What's 11 seconds back now?
Yeah, I think Hearn's sort of succumbed to P2 now, and will just be doing all he can to stay consistent and make sure he keeps that P2 over Watts. One mistake and Watts will be all over the back of him.
55
Anderson.
laps completed.
I was about...
What were you going to say?
Again, isn't it?
What's happened?
No, that is a lapped car. Sorry, Howard drives a black Lambo, and Anderson has just lapped someone in a black Lambo, and it was an ST. I thought they were back at it.
No.
Simanski's just set his personal best lap of the race, which is good to see. 90 minutes in, a 1:28.3 in the Lambo ST. Anderson as well has just set a personal best on that lap, so there's still pace out there.
I was just looking at the track, see if it's changed to optimum, but no, still fast. Excuse me, a bit of a cough.
Oh, Chittle is all on the back of Johansson now, 0.5.
Fight for second place.
Yeah, and Chittle has pace.
But will he take
Fast,
place?
maybe not, but well, this is where you've got to think to yourself, had he not have spent all that time fighting with GT3s for positions that really didn't mean anything, he wouldn't be in this position now fighting for P2 in the last 7 minutes.
Yeah, getting spun around with Johnny Ashley especially.
So it's into Corkscrew.
Getting very close. Blue flags are out. There's a Audi. Is that an Audi coming up on them?
That's Hearn. That's Andy Hearn in the...
It does look like a... From the right angles. Yeah, I was going to say, there are no Audis in this race. So he's let Hearn go through.
He had one, but he left, and that was Van Rooyen.
He left, took his ball and went home.
Took his Audi and went home.
Watts is now only 8.8 seconds behind Hearn.
Wow,
And
okay, so that is...
Hearn could be getting held up a little bit by these. Well, he's through now, but may have been held up a little bit. And Title was side by side.
Yeah, he was weaving all over the place looking to make a move, and it looks like he's got it done. He's put off Johansson enough. So that is the move done there, as Ryan Davies has brought out the yellow flag. So what's happened here? Well, we picked that up just as he's had a spin out of the fast left before the corkscrew.
Might have just caught the sausage curb, over-rotated. That's sort of up the hill towards Raval Straight, isn't it?
You see the leader go past there. And
being very careful. Very careful to rejoin. Good on him.
So Johnny Ashley P12 after Hiker's incident which had him back in the pits. He is now coming up on the back of Ryan Davies, but that is to unlap himself. So Johnny Ashley three laps down on the leader at the moment.
What's now 7 seconds, 7.8 seconds back from
just
Hearn.
Don't think he's going to have enough time.
No, 5 minutes to go.
So Hearn crosses the line. Watts accelerates out the final corner.
What could have been?
Depends on traffic.
It does, and it does look like there's a few ahead. Not a mass of them, but there is a few. The yellow markers on the map are the Super Trofeo cars. red is the car we're following. White is the cars that are on the same lap.
Yeah, so further down,
Sorry, in the same class.
not really much happening. Everyone's kind of gapped out just enough now. I think the tightest one we have is Ola, who is catching Rhodes up ahead of him. So we've got about 3 laps left of the race. 6 seconds from Watts to Hearn. As someone makes one of the strangest entries to the corkscrew I've seen.
I was a little bit apprehensive there, thinking, oh no, is it Hearn?
It's not, but the gap is coming down again as...
Oh, he's got a clear Triton.
and
Triton wasn't quite sure how to do it there.
yeah, again, not quite sure on that, but that cost Watts 7/10 of a second. That might have been his last chance.
6.0 seconds back from Hearn, yeah.
So a quick look at the race leader, Dirk Bofer, as calm as ever.
Yep. Round the left-hand kink, up Rahal straight, which isn't very straight.
Flash of the lights to the ST ahead to let him know that he is there. Now what happens is... looked like he was a lot closer than he actually was. Another flash of the lights to let him know he's there, as there is...
Moves over, lets him by.
Nicely done. Oh! So, I'm not sure how.
Now they're 4.7 seconds apart.
Yeah. Watts is... has Hearn got some issues? Is he saving fuel? Is Hearn running out of fuel, and that's why he's having to back off so much?
Oh, wow.
So you can see Watts just in the background there. So Watts now coming into the final corner. Oh,
Yeah,
he's got that a bit wrong through there, but only 3.9 seconds.
He can see his prey now.
So the next lap will be the last lap.
It's going to give him real impetus to charge. You know, once you can see who you're chasing, it gives you that extra push to just go that little bit faster. It makes it, you know, oh, finally, the fruits of my labour are coming to something.
Fruition is the word.
Yes, yes.
You're chasing
Fruits are coming to fruition. If Andrew is fuel saving, he could be in trouble.
Gap down another half a second, and it looks like Hearn is having to deal with some STs late on in the race and a slower car up ahead as well. This could all be... He's just been hit into the corkscrew, and that is Hearn in the wall. And Watts just calmly drives by. Watts Hearn.
Oh, Hearn just absolutely slammed into the back.
So it's the ST that he's lapping here.
With much weaker brakes. Brakes far too late.
Past, there's a massive gap going up to the corkscrew, and...
So how late did... Let's see. Is that David Ola just straight into the back of it? And Hearn will be livid.
The leader's on final lap now.
He will, but as you can hear there, Dirk Bofer starts the final lap with a 17.7 second lead to Watts. Hearn, he is going to be furious.
Absolutely furious. He had everything in control, and he's been... Yeah, David Ola got his braking all wrong. And it reminds me of when Jos Verstappen went into the back of Montoya after being lapped. He tucked in behind Montoya and then braked too late and went into the back of him into Lagos.
It's the Michael Schumacher, David Coulthard incident at Spa. Just got to go and lap someone. Oh no, they've wrecked my race. So, Dirk Bofer takes the final couple of corners. He is going to be your race winner in the GT3s. Calm, steady, consistent, flashes the lights, pulls over to the pit wall, scares the life out of the Lambo in front of him, and crosses the line to take the win. As we jump on to Willie Black, he's coming up to the corkscrew, so he's got a few corners left to go. Watts comes out of the final corner in the GT Freeze. The fireworks go off in the background, and Watts crosses the line with a deserving P2, but
He'll be thankful for it.
Hearn
He'll
will be
thanking David Oller.
I would imagine Hearn is about to go and hunt down whoever it was, if it was Oller that hit his car. So
I saw OLL.
let's go. Willie Black in the GT Freeze. The ST, sorry, he takes the win in the STs in P10 overall. Great result there. As Chittle comes home in P2 with the STs, and Johansson already finished. He was in P3. So the rest of the cars cross the line. We'll give you a rundown of the finishing positions in a moment. Cammy, driver of the day.
Oh, it's got to be Bofa, hasn't it?
Yep, completely
Didn't put
agree. And
didn't
I
put
think
a
we're
foot-
going to go with both winners, aren't we, in both classes? Willie Black had a few mistakes, but has somehow come out winning that by quite some margin. As we hear some last cars come out of the final corner. Medina crosses the line in P8.
I mean, what's fortunate at the end, at Hearn's expense, but I did see OLL on the Lambo that ran into the back of Hearn, and there's only one OLL in the Lambo.
So that is the end of the race. Are we going to be joined? I would like to be joined by Johnny Ashley.
They are both in the admin and incident.
I know, I
voice
could
chat.
literally just use my admin powers and drag him in it. But the race is over. Let's have a quick rundown of the positions. So your GT3 winner, Dirk Bofa, with Watts in P2 after a late incident for Andy Hearn when lapping a car into the corkscrew. He came home in P3 still managed to pick up a podium. Anderson P4 after quite the battle with Howard during the race, and Adam D comes back in P6 after, well, I think we all saw what happened there. Sam Roughton picks up P7 and Medina P8 with Ryan Davies in P9. Our first ST home was oNiD's very own Willie Blackhammer. You must have had 4 cans of beer tonight instead of the usual 8 before you went racing. McNeil was the second, in P11, he was back in the GT Freeze with Johnny Ashley coming all the way through to P12. Then you had Chaitel in the STs, followed by Johansson, Reiners, KD in the GT3, back to the STs, Zemenska, Rhodes, Oller, Van der Veen in the GT3, then back to the STs again. We had De Vroid in 21st, Arts 22nd, Reiners 23rd, and I believe the rest, as including Arts, De Vroid, and the rest, didn't finish the race. But I am going to use my admin powers, and I am going to drag Johnny Ashley in and quickly tell him that he's in it, so he doesn't
hello.
blind. Hello. I thought I'd drag you in and use my admin powers.
Oh, okay. I wasn't expecting that one.
I
Hello.
want to know what happened at the start.
What's that?
I want to know what happened at the start.
Well, I won't go into too much detail because obviously it's going to be instant reported. But I spun it all on my own at the start, coming out of turn 5, the left-hander. I then waited for everyone to go past, and was just going to carry on my race, and then go for the corkscrew. Got rear-ended. Had to RTG because I thought it was fine. I thought I haven't got too much damage, and then as I come over the start-finish line, the damage to the rear was apparent because it just lifted off the ground and flew me into a wall.
Oh, okay, nice. We didn't catch that. I did catch us. Literally, I've spent the entire evening clicking on every car and sniping them in qualifying or the race. So you may be asked not to bring me back ever again on a Sunday night to stream. So yeah, we caught the first spin, and you managed to keep it out of the wall and away from anyone else. But we sort of went back to the lead after that. So okay, interesting to hear what happened.
Yeah,
but a good recovery.
Yeah, we had to RTG, and I had a 2.5 minute pit stop, and of course it wasn't one that counted because it wasn't inside the window. So, but I managed to battle back and managed to catch up with Hiker and Keith D as well. So, not last in class. So, what's that?
Eventful.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it shows to carry on. You know, that happened all within the first minute of the race, and I still managed to get in front of all, back in front of all pretty much all the STs and make
Yeah.
up some positions in class. So not a bad day, and overall, I've made some of it.
No, good. And we did say on the stream, we thought at one point you may have rage quitted, and then we thought, no, surely the community owner who can't stand rage quitting wouldn't have rage quitted. And then after about 3 minutes, you left the pits. It's like, oh, okay, he's
Yeah, that's only because
not
I thought I could maybe limp it through to the 15-minute mark and go in for a pit stop. But yeah, it was apparent the damage on my rear was
undrivable.
yeah. Just as I come across the start finish line, the kink to the left, foot flat down like it normally would be, and the rear just kind of went from underneath me, and I hit the pit wall and pretty much slid all the way to
Oh, sure. Well, the M4 when it gets damage on the rear is horrific to drive anyway. So
yeah,
understandable that you needed to
yeah.
box.
It
I
wasn't
would
great, but
like to drag Woody Blackhammer in here. How is he? Is he okay? Nope, he's gone. They've all left.
yeah,
They've just left the
they
chat.
look,
So that'll be it. Just you then, Johnny.
well, that's all you need, isn't
It's good enough.
it?
Well, Johnny, while you're here, what have we got coming up this week in oNiD?
So this week in oNiD, we have got nothing on Monday. We're off on Monday. Tuesday, we have got round 2 of the GT4 series. I want to say
I believe
round
it's
2.
round 2. I want to say round 2, so at least I know if you're wrong. I've just gone with you, and it's your fault.
Yeah, it's round 2 at Alton Park. GT4s on Tuesday night. Wednesday, the Xbox boys are carrying on their GT3 championship.
And then I'm
Thursday,
back on Thursday
you are back on Thursday for the
with
rookies.
Alton Park again. So that's
Then
going to be interesting for the rookies.
Friday, everyone can join Adam on stream for the next round of the Jimmy 2.4 series. Fortunately, I won't be on commentary. I am out for the evening. And then Sunday, round 5 of the Multiclass Sundays at Zolder.
And I will be back racing that week. So looking forward to it. And obviously, in that time, we've got the release of the new DLC. So I would say, Johnny, keep an eye out for some new DLC related events with oNiD coming up.
There is likely going to be a launch event on Wednesday. If I'm right, it comes out on Wednesday. I may do a launch event. It's Thursday it comes out, so we might
Thursday
have a
it
launch
comes out,
event.
so we'll have the rookies, but obviously, yeah, it's
We may have
just
one on Thursday, or I might save it to Saturday.
exciting. Loads going on as ever. Well,
As
Johnny,
always, yeah.
thank you for letting me drag you. I was about to say thank you for joining us, but I literally just picked you up and dropped you in here.
You did.
So thanks for coming in and not saying anything too explicit. Well done on the comeback in the race. Great effort on the drive. And yeah, let's look forward to what next week has to offer in oNiD. Other than that, Cammy, anything from yourself?
No, you've covered it all very well, thanks. Yeah.
Oh, very well. There's a compliment. So that is it for the evening. I have been Jimbo Mancy. With me on comms has been Cammy Sturch. And dragged in kicking and screaming has been Johnny Ashley at the end of the race. Thank you for joining us in the stream and in the chat. We will be back on Tuesday night, as Johnny said. But for now, take care. Good night. Goodbye.